What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to look at the final super rare from BT7, although don't worry, there are plenty of new cards to talk about we will get to over the next few days. Today, however, it is very much the turn of DarkKnightmon, which apparently isn't Batman, and a couple of other Digimon that go along with it. So let's start off with a couple of level 4 Digimon. Let's start off with DarkKnightmon. Translations here from the lovely folks over at digimoncard.dev, and as always, any translated proxies you might see in this video come from those lovely folks as well. So we've got a 4 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 3,000 power. That is low power-wise for a level 4. 3,000 on a level 4 is a bit lower than average, but it's on the cheaper end of level 4, so we're not going to be terribly upset. What we've got here is an attacking skill. You may trash all the Digivolution cards from one of your Deadly Axemon, we'll get there in a moment, and place that Deadly Axemon at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to Digivolve this Digimon into DarkKnightmon in your hand without paying its memory cost. Now, we're not going to look at DarkKnightmon properly yet, but just to have a quick gander, we should be paying free memory to get DarkKnightmon Digivolved here. We're paying 0. However, the way it's worded, you may place your Deadly Axemon after trashing all Digivolution cards, means it's basically got to be in play. Which means you're actually paying 4 to play Deadly Axemon, or 2 to Digivolve it from a level 3, and then you're saving free memory, i.e. you're either saving 1 memory, you're paying 2 to Digivolve into Deadly Axemon, and then saving free when you Digivolve up, so you're 1 over in general, it's fine, you're saving a memory, but it's not great. Or you're actually paying 1 more memory, because you're paying 4 to play it normally, rather than free to Digivolve. However, clearly, you're not just going to do this, right? If you've got a DarkKnightmon in hand, you're not going to play a Deadly Axemon and then immediately pop it under in order to get a DarkKnightmon out. Yeah, that's not the way to do so. I suppose what I'm saying here is, if you look at this purely in terms of memory cost, you're going to end up thinking this is pretty bad, because you're not really saving much memory, and you're Digivolving from a 4 to a 5, not into a 6 or a 7, so it doesn't seem to make a huge amount of sense, although it will in just a moment when we look at the other skills. Obviously, you can't just pay free memory to Digivolve generally, and that might be better. I mean, there'll be those times you've got a Deadly Knightmon sitting out on the field, and it's done its thing, and then you want to do this randomly, but they're going to be few and far between. There is an inheritable skill here on your turn. While this Digimon has Knightmon or Bagramon in its name, it gains Security Attack +1. So now your DarkKnightmon's going to have Security Attack +1, or anything else along those lines. That's pretty gosh darn good, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty gosh darned good. So I like the Security Attack +1. I kind of like the cheating evolution, but you're not actually cheating evolution here, so we're gonna need something else, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. And that's where we get to Deadly Axemon. Because you see, when you, this is the same, 4 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 3,000 power, same as before. When you play it, you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, and add up to 2 Digimon with Knightmon in their name to your hand. Well, now things start getting a little bit better, ladies and gentlemen. They start getting a little bit better indeed. Because now we're in a situation where you can actually just accelerate. So now you can play this to find your DarkKnightmon, and then put it under DarkKnightmon, and go from there. And now you're good. So the fact that you can use a play skill to find DarkKnightmon here is clearly an awesome thing, and that is going to help massively. We'll also find your DarkKnightmon for what it's worth. So that's cool. But we've also got an inheritable skill whereby when this Digimon has Knightmon or Bagramon in its name, it gains 2,000 power. And this is a good thing. Because now, if we put it all together, you play Deadly Axemon, and that lets you find your Skull Knightmon, your DarkKnightmon, hopefully. Not guaranteed, but hopefully. You then, I don't know, Digivolve a level 3 into Skull Knightmon, which you've just found. You then put Deadly Axemon underneath it to Digivolve your DarkKnightmon without paying any more memory, and now you've got 9,000 power for DarkKnightmon, and you've got security attack +1, and you found your Skull Knightmon and your DarkKnightmon that you didn't have before. Can you see why this is starting to look a whole bunch better? When we just look at Skull Knightmon and we look at this evolution, it looks a little bit convoluted and round the houses, and it doesn't seem to make a huge amount of sense. And then we go, well, hang on a second, let's look at this other dude as well, and this is why, and we see this in Digimon a lot, these Digimon that you have to look at as combos, because on their own, I mean, the classic example from way back in BT1, and we are going a little bit old school here, but I am down with it, was Tinkermon. And Tinkermon, when we first saw it, was an objectively bad card. It was a vanilla level 3 with worse stats than other vanilla level 3s. It was a card that essentially had no redeeming features. Until we looked at Petermon, that when you play it, lets you play a Tinkermon from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost, at which point it makes a whole bunch more sense. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is my point here. So yeah, this combo's looking pretty nice, but we should probably actually look at DarkKnightmon properly. Now this is a level 5, but it kind of parades as a level 6. It is a super rare, and it's got a combo associated with it, but there isn't really a level 6 that naturally digivolves from it. So it's a little bit weird. Now, we got 7 cosplay normally, 3 cost to digivolve, 7,000 power, which is incidentally extremely standard. Very standard for a level 5, that is the average. Obviously, you should actually be at 9,000 power because your Deadly Axemon will have put you up to 9. It means you'll be above the vast majority of level 5s, but remember you're going to have security attack +1, and you're going to be attacking the stack, and you're still only going to have 9,000 power. That's a little bit awkward. But when you play it, this is when you play it as a 7 cost, you may place a Skull Knightmon and or 1 Deadly Axemon from your hand and or trash at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards in any order. Basically, when you play it, you can grab a Skull Knightmon and a Deadly Axemon either from your hand or from your trash. This is good, because if they had to be in your hand, this would not fire very often. The fact that they can be in your hand or trash means it is going to fire a lot more easily. And then that means that you've got the 9,000 power and security attack +1. And that's really what we're looking for here. We want the extra power, we want security attack +1. Essentially, what this means is that you can basically play it as a 7 cost, 9,000 power with security attack +1, and that's kind of ridiculous. Like, if you're playing this normally, and you've got to have the cards in your hand or in your trash, right? So it's not always going to work. But there are going to be times where this is nuts. Like, genuinely nuts. We've only seen a few level 5s with more than 9,000 power, and it's basically all of those vanilla ones. So, Loda Leomon, they generally 7 cosplay normally, 3 cost to digivolve, 10,000 power. We've seen them in all the colours now? Yeah, we have. We've seen them in all the colours now, although a couple of the colours, okay, fine, just red, do actually have more than one option, so they're the kind of things we're looking at. And they are vanilla cards, and they have to be vanilla cards or else they'd be too good. Well, here we've got the same cost, but it's 9,000 power rather than 10, but with security attack +1. And like I've said, security attack +1 is a little bit awkward. It means that there are absolutely going to be times where you attack the stack, get deleted, and that's it. And you don't get the security attack +1 because you got deleted by a security card. But like I keep saying, 9,000 power, you're still talking about only being deleted by basically level 6s. So it's not the end of the world, although yes, I do agree it is, well, it ain't perfect now, ladies and gentlemen, is it? But that's not actually the only skill. We still haven't talked about the all-turn skill. When this Digimon is deleted, you may play a Skull Knightmon and or Deadly Axemon suspended that were in this Digimon's Digivolution cards from your trash without paying their memory costs. And obviously here, you're probably going to want to go for Deadly Axemon here, because it's got that awesome play skill. So you've got the security attack +1, but even if you do go down, you're suspended. You don't get the extra attack, which is a bit sad. And of course, you're suspended on your opponent's turn, which means they will essentially get the first attack and be able to try and delete you. But it means you get an extra Digimon, and that's really cool. Before we finish here, I do just want to be super clear about Skull Knightmon. It is an attacking skill, but it doesn't really affect, essentially, when you would be attacking, you Digivolve up as you attack, rather than Digivolving up and attacking. It doesn't make any real difference to anything I've said, but it just occurred to me as I was finishing here, I've not really pushed this as an attacking skill, and I didn't want anyone to think I hadn't been clear, but hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, I have now been clear, and life is good. So this is the stage where I want to hear from you, lovely ladies and gentlemen. So let me know what you think about it. Oh, wait, no, we need scores. I'm giving this between 3 and 4 Wassies, and maybe it's because I've been giving out 5 Wassies like candy lately. I like this combo. It's a fun combo, but I still think, even with the playing cards for free and all of that, I think the 9,000 power is going to come back and trip you up sometime. Sorry. But I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.